This story is from Egypt. It's our adaptation of an Egyptian folktale, and it's our understanding that all Egyptian school children are told this story. We call it The Lions at the Door. Once, in a little village in Egypt, there lived a farmer who was very hard-working. Every day he would go outside the village to his fields, and he would hoe and rake and plant and weed, and at night he'd go home to share the evening meal with his daughter, whose name was Fatma.
One day, the farmer was hard at work in his fields when all of a sudden a little gray mouse came scurrying by. Now this mouse was a troublemaker. He saw the farmer, and at the edge of a nearby river, he saw some sleeping lions.
The mouse thought that this would be the perfect opportunity for making trouble. So he twitched his whiskers and scurried over to where the farmer was working. He said, "Hey, you see those lions asleep over there by the river? That big one says that he's stronger than you are."
The farmer scowled at that mouse. "Do you think I'm foolish? Why, of course that lion is stronger than I am."
Oh, his plan for making trouble was not working. But this was a mouse who did not give up easily. He stamped his little mouse feet, twitched his whiskers again, and scurried over to the lions. He went up to the biggest lion and began tugging on his whisker. And as you can imagine, the lion woke up. And the mouse said quickly, "Hey, you see the farmer in the field over there? He says that he's stronger than you are." "Well, we'll just see about that," said the lion. And he charged at the farmer.
The farmer had no idea why that lion was charging at him, but running away suddenly seemed like a good idea. That farmer ran home, rushed into his house, slammed the door, and locked it.
The lion came rushing up to the door and began beating on it with his big furry fists. "Come out and fight like a lion," he called.
"Fight like a lion? Fatma, did you hear that? What can we do?"
"Father," said Fatma, "I have an idea. I have a pot of hot water on the fire. I'll go upstairs with that pot of hot water to the window over the front door. Now, I won't be able to see the lion because of the roof over the door, but if you stay down here and call up to me when you see that the water will hit the lion, then I'll pour the water out."
So Fatma went upstairs with the pot of hot water and waited by the window. When her father saw that the lion wasn't protected by the roof, he sang out, "Pour, Fatma, pour, the lion's at the door, the lion's at the door, pour, Fatma, pour."
Fatma dumped that pot of hot water out the window. It hit the lion, who yelped and ran off with a burned bottom.
The farmer congratulated his daughter for her cleverness. "That's the last we'll see of that lion."
But 3 days later, the farmer was working in his fields when he looked up and saw a whole pride of lions coming slowly towards him. They all had huge grins on their faces, and the biggest one had a bandage on his bottom.
"Oh no!" cried the farmer, and he started running away in the opposite direction. Unfortunately, the lions were between him and his house. The farmer didn't know where to go or how to hide. But then he saw a tall tree. When he reached that tree, he climbed straight up as fast and as far as he could go. Whew, that was close.
The lions all made a big circle around the bottom of the tree, and they looked up at the farmer and roared.
The farmer clung to the top of that tree, looked down at those lions. "I'll just wait here. I'll wait here the rest of my life if I have to."
Well, I don't know if you know anything about lions, but they're not big on patience. So they got into a big huddle for a planning session. And when they were finished, they looked up at that farmer and grinned.
And then the first lion sat right down next to the tree trunk.
The second lion climbed up onto the first lion's back.
The third lion climbed up onto the second lion's back.
The fourth lion climbed up onto the third lion's back.
The fifth lion climbed up onto the fifth lion's back.
The sixth lion climbed up onto the fifth lion's back.
Those lions were getting closer and closer. The farmer was getting worried. His plan for waiting out the lions was not working.
And then, that last lion, you know, the one with the bandage on his bottom, looked up at the farmer and roared.
Oh no, thought the farmer. I better come up with a new plan right away or else.
As that last lion began climbing up all the other lions, the farmer sang out, "Poor Fatma, poor, the lions at the door, the lions at the door, poor Fatma, poor."
And that lion, remembering what had happened the last time he heard that song, ran away as fast as he could, and the other lions followed.
And the farmer, who turned out to be just as clever as his daughter Fatma, climbed back down that tree and walked home singing, "Poor Fatma, poor, the lions at the door, the lions at the door, poor Fatma, poor." Now, I bet you're wondering about that mouse. Well, he watched the whole thing from a safe distance away, hidden behind some tall grass. And when he saw that farmer outwit all those lions, ooh, he was mad. He stamped his little mouse feet, twitched his whiskers, and began thinking of a new way for making trouble.